Blue Lock has just dropped and we have updates on every single U20 Japan player. We get to see what each player is doing during their break between the U20 World Cup arc. Anyway, let's get straight into this week's chapter. The chapter starts off with Henri giving Ego a special late-night yakisoba. Ego tells her to put it beside him. Henri acknowledges that Ego has been working all night recently and asks if he is okay, noting his dark cells around his eyes are getting worse. Ego says, "Yeah, I've been creating the trainings and wrote letters to 23 players and the other work just kept piling up." Henri asks Ego what he is asking them to do. Ego asks Henri, "In what order do you prepare dishes, Henri?" She says, "I think about what I want, then get the ingredients." Ego basically says he's doing the same thing. He is putting together a winning recipe for the U20 World Cup. We then see the letter Baru has received that says, "Go there, if you want to become king again." Baru thinks to himself, what is this Four Eyes scheming? He looks and sees a sign that he's at a university. That's when someone asks if he's Baru from Blue Lock. "We've been waiting for you. Welcome to American football." I imagine this training is to help Baru become a stronger and more physical player in order to further increase those stats. We then see the letter for Bachira, which says, "Learn by teaching. Feel your childhood self." He shows up to an elementary school where a ton of children start swarming him. We then see Chigiri, who is swimming, building a more stronger physique and better stamina, not all centered around his legs. We see Kunigami, who was instructed to practice combat. We can see him sparring in some type of gym, become the strongest warrior with your body. Now Shido was instructed to do everything you want to try before you die, and he decides to go skydiving. At this point, can we even say Blue Lock is about soccer? Next is Itoshi Rin, who was instructed to take another look at your ego, with panels of him thinking about Isagi and Sei. He then gets hit by an old man with a staff. Ego says destruction alone isn't a desire. We also see Reo, who is training in his training room at Mikage Corporation. While running, he's thinking about Nagi and can't seem to stop thinking about him. He thought they would always be together and not being with him feels weird. Just then his maid comes in and gives him a letter from Blue Lock, which is instructions to learn how to master copy everyone in Blue Lock. There was an SD card included with the letter, and it looks like it's footage of the other 22 players. Rio decides he's going to put everything he has and ace this task and learn to master copy everyone. Just then we see everyone doing their own training. Otoya seems to be doing some type of virtual reality, while Karasu seems to be doing stamina training in the mountains. Raichi is wrestling, Kiora is doing parkour or maybe calisthenics, Corona is running with dogs, Ayu looks to be doing karate or some type of martial arts. Nanase is learning to use 2 chopsticks, which is a sign that he's trying to become ambidextrous. And then we see Sendo with a gun seemingly practicing his patience and timing, which is said to be his biggest struggle in Blue Lock. Nico is lifting weights, Hiyori is still playing video games, Gagamaru is doing baseball, Fukaku is underneath a waterfall as if he's the stone Hashira. Yukimiya is using a blade, seemingly train his eyes with one of them blocked out. Aryu is studying, not really sure what, and I'm not really sure why either. Most likely it has something to do with leadership though. And finally, Zantetsu is doing track, most likely stamina training. Ego tells Henri that they're all strikers after all. When we meet again, without killing that instinct, the chemical reaction of will become a fusion of the new Blue Lock. Ego by ego, everyone's aiming for the #1 spot. The spirit of Blue Lock will become the fangs that reach the world. The next chapter is called Hello, which I believe will be centered around Isagi and him meeting someone with his plane ticket. Hopefully Sei, but I also would love to see some new players around the world. This concludes chapter 305 and it did not disappoint. Make sure to subscribe as I put out videos like this all the time, and as always, have a great day.